Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you for all the years that you sacrificed for your children. Thank you for loving us. I'm sure we were unlovable at times. Thank you for just being there, supporting us through each and every journey of our life. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for loving us and helping us grow into the adults that we are now. Thank you for showing us what true sacrifice looks like. Thank you for pushing us to our destiny and our purpose, even when you didn't know that's what you were doing. Thank you for the hard talks, and they were hard. But thank you for the hard talks. Thank you for wiping my tears when I couldn't wipe them myself. Thank you for showing me what a woman of faith looks like that doesn't give up at the first sign of trouble. Thank you for showing me what a servant looks like, because you will give someone the shirt off your back as long as they're smiling. So thank you again, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. Although I did give you your flowers while you was here, I still want to give you a shout out for this Mother's Day. You are very missed and you are very loved. May you continue.
Hi, Lanita Mitchell Blackwell here, doing a shout out video for my favorite girl, Miss Patience. Say hey, mama. Hello, everybody. Celebrating her 78th birthday. Isn't she beautiful? Love you, mama. Thank you. Love you all too.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you for all the years that you sacrificed for your children. Thank you for loving us. I'm sure we were unlovable at times. Thank you for just being there, supporting us through each and every journey of our life. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for loving us and helping us grow into the adults that we are now. Thank you for showing us what true sacrifice looks like. Thank you for pushing us to our destiny and our purpose, even when you didn't know that's what you were doing. Thank you for the hard talks, and they were hard. But thank you for the hard talks. Thank you for wiping my tears when I couldn't wipe them myself. Thank you for showing me what a woman of faith looks like that doesn't give up at the first sign of trouble. Thank you for showing me what a servant looks like, because you will give someone the shirt off your back as long as they're smiling. So thank you again, and happy Mother's Day.
Hey y'all, it's been 2 weeks since y'all saw my pretty face. Welcome to Talking Thick with Chrissy. If you're just tuning in and never watched my show before, please look out for my link on YouTube, Talking Thick with Chrissy. Tonight's show is about my sister Kenyia Mcleod. She came on to talk with my audience about her journey on, being adopted and what led her to help others find their biological connections. But this show here, Talking Thick with Chrissy, is about celebration. It's about enjoying life. It's about entertainment. It's about all the things that you can think of, the little wins that you have each and every day. And I just wanted to give you a little background on the videos that y'all just saw. Mother's Day just passed. So I was going to do a Mother's Day show, and it just did not work out for me. So I just had a couple of people that I know do some shout out videos, shouting out their mom, that is still alive. When my mom was here, I gave her flowers, but I also wanted to give her flowers now that she's no longer here. And I miss her every day, every minute, every hour. We did make it down to her gravesite, second year anniversary on May 22nd. And God gave us the strength to be able to get through that. We made it through. We are here. We are here. But tonight's show is celebrating my sister, and talking about her thick life and being adopted, the connections that she made in meeting her biological family. So I'm going to ask her to tell a little bit about herself.
Hello, everyone out there that's listening. Yes, I'm Kenyia Mcleod, originally from New York, now live in Sweet Home, Alabama. I'm actually a mother of 5 adult children, 4 grandchildren, married for 13 years, and I love helping people. That's it.
There's more to tell, but she just being modest right now. You ain't telling them about your travel business. You ain't telling them nothing.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit
I'm
now.
going to try to be really
short.
Yeah, because
you know she can talk, y'all.
So, so I do have my own travel and network marketing business, where I help individuals capitalize on travel. It's one of the largest industries out here, so why not? So I help them and capitalizing on travel, as well as showing them how they can empower others to do the same, and bring residual income into their household, and also leaving a legacy for their families.
And can't take her nowhere, y'all. Listen, she be snatching up people.
People help people.
I'm just saying, we went out to eat today. Well, we went to pick up some food. I had some baked wings, because I know that my my weight loss manager's watching probably, and she gonna see this. I had some baked wings because I'm having to journal everything that I put in my mouth. So I had some baked wings today. But yeah, I'm waiting for her out, standing outside. She done went in there, connected with somebody. And but I can say that she does good with that. She makes really good connections, because if you're trying to grow your business, you have to make connections. And that's the only way to do it, to talk to people. So that's why I'm here, y'all, talking thick with Chrissy. I'm trying to make real connections, listening to people with their stories. So, got a question for you. What age were you when you felt that you wanted to search for your biological family?
The age, I want to say probably when I got to, maybe when I first found out I was adopted. I think I was like about 7, 8. So I always was curious at that age in finding my family. And you told me to make it short.
I ain't say make it that short, man.
Okay. So you want to know the reason why?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why is because I just felt like there was something missing. I felt like I wanted to know more about my family history, and I wanted to look like somebody, y'all. I didn't look like nobody. So that was important to me, to be able to find my family and just learn more about my history. So I was always curious about it, and and that's what started my journey.
So the missing piece that you felt, is that what motivated you to start your journey?
Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what it was. I knew that I had to, in order to fill that void, I knew that I had to, I had to find my family. I knew it would help me, and just understanding a lot about like family history. You go to the doctors and they ask you about your history, and I can't really tell them anything.
Right.
As I got older, I couldn't tell them because I didn't know. Right. So that was another thing, just knowing where you come from, your background and everything, to fill that void.
I know the story, but, I want her to share with my audience, because I've been trying to get her to write a book. Lord knows that's like pulling teeth. She started it. She was excited about it, but now it's just sitting there. She said, I'm going to get to it. It's been how long? How long has it been since? Don't do that. How long has it been since I told you about that book?
Well, I started writing in 2020 during COVID time.
And we in 2025, y'all. Brandy, I know you out there listening. I'm gonna send you her number so you can get in contact with her, because she just won't do right. She was trying to do what I was doing, trying to write and edit the book at the same time. And Brandy, we know how that went. But yeah. Another question that I have for you, because like I said, I know the story. I know the connection that you have made. I know the emotional ties that you had to finding the people that you found. Could you have prepared yourself any more than what you did in what you came across and getting in touch with the people that your biological family?
There actually is you can't prepare. You can't. Because when you start preparing, then you start having expectations of things, and the way you want it to be, and it's not like that. So you have to go in with an open mind, and you just got to take it for what it is, but you got to prepare your mind for that, or it might take you to a different place. So for me, I knew At first, I was thinking all sorts of things about, oh, when I see, my mom, I'm going to feel this way, that way. You don't know how you're going to feel until you actually in front of them and actually talking with them. Because what I thought I would do, I didn't. I was more in like a shock. So it was just like, stand still. But you can't really, you just got to prepare your mind to be open to whatever comes your way when finding your family.
Because, people be expecting that, the family is going to be something more than what they actually are in now. And sometimes it's just not that. The grass, as my mother always said, the grass is not green on the other side. But speaking of mommy, I know that this is your story to tell. So I'm only going to ask you the question as far as, how did mommy feel when you told her that you wanted to look for your biological mom?
Oh, well, when I told her about her, she you know what she said to me? I'm not a jealous mother. That was her words. She said, when you finish high school, you can go look for your mom. And then she gave me a little bit information that she had on her so that it would help me find her. So, yeah, she said, I'm not a jealous mom. I understand. And she gave me, what information, like I said, that she had would help me along the way.
And how old was you when you came to us?
I was a baby.
She stole my
7 months.
She stole my middle sister. I just
She
want to say
always
that out
saying
loud.
that.
I want to say that out loud that she stole. Me and my middle sister was close. When this one came along, just left me behind.
God, she really don't have proof of that.
Yes, I do. I have emotional proof, ma'am. I have emotional scars. Don't do that. But yeah, it was definitely a blessing. My mom and dad, taking her, bringing her into our household. I wish I had a picture. If I had thought about it, I would have showed her baby picture. She still looked the same. She just ain't had no hair.
Tell the world.
Don't
I was
do that.
bald-headed.
She got hair now though. Don't do that.
I was
Don't
bald-headed,
do
y'all. It's okay.
But we all took to her,
Now look
and
who's bald-headed.
I am, and it looks fabulous. Thank you very much. What are some of the emotional challenges you faced during your journey?
So I remember when I thought I got close to finding my mom, and I remember being at work, and I had a conversation with some of her siblings, not siblings, her stepchildren. So I thought this was her. Her stepdaughter was telling me, describing her the same way that I known her to be from a picture. She was describing her. She was telling me she wasn't sure. So, but after we was talking, she said, was giving me hope that it could be her. And I remember finally getting a chance to talk to her. The lady called me, and her words was, I just wanted to call you back. My stepdaughter spoke with me, and she said, was telling me everything. You're looking for your mom, she said, but I'm not her.
Okay.
And when I tell you, I literally threw up at work because my hopes was up so high. And I got sick to my stomach, and I just threw up. And, from that point on, I stopped getting excited. When I thought that I was close, I said, no, let me just wait. I'm getting too excited. And it just did something to me where I just said, no, I gotta step back and pretty much don't get too excited about, because you don't know.
Right.
But I had hope that this was her. I was done looking, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
I guess, like you said, you could never be prepared for whatever comes your way. Shouldn't have expectations. And I know that the journey for you was important to find out who you were. So at what point in the journey did you say, okay, I have all of the pieces that I need in this puzzle?
Let's see. I remember it wasn't even meeting my mom. It was when I met my aunt. When I met my aunt, and she said, you have a large family. And when I tell you, when I met her, she invited everybody.
Listen, y'all, when she told me this story, I don't know if y'all remember the movie Finding Fisher.
Yeah.
Was that the name of it? Yeah. Finding Fisher. That movie, that scene, when he came back from wherever he was searching, doing something, and he came back with his girlfriend, and the whole house was filled up with his family. When she was telling me this story, it gave me goosebumps because that's what it took me back to know all of these years that all of those puzzle pieces was right there in the same room.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that was for me when I seen the doorbell was ringing, ding, 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 and everybody, and they looking at me and they're like, "Ooh, you look like my aunt. Ooh, you look like." It made me feel so good because I always was like, I don't look like nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody look like somebody who I look like.
Right.
So it made me feel good. I was like, "Ooh, I gotta meet my aunt." They keep saying I look like her. So, you know, it made me feel good and everybody was just welcoming, you know, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was an amazing feeling. But then when my grandmother walked in the house, woo, I got that grandma hug where they don't let go. And it was the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, okay, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. And you know what? That's the first time I'm hearing that part, y'all. Just so you know, I heard it the same time y'all did. But I know that her journey has been emotional, but it also has been amazing. There's one story in particular that I want her to tell. I don't know if she's going to cry when she tell it, but this is that story that you would want to have been on the phone when it happened. She met her cousin Kevin, and I'm gonna let you tell the story.
Ooh, and I gotta make it short. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna tell that moment. Okay, so I connected with.
You can start from when you connected with Kevin and how you sent him a message and he didn't really think that was you. You can start from there.
So, well, we want to start from my uncle. Mm-hmm. So, when I met my uncle, he had told me that he had a son. And I was like, okay, well, where's your son at? He said, I don't know. You know, he felt like he didn't want nothing to do with him. He was young when he seen him. You know, he was upset. So in my mind, you know, because I love to help people, right? I help, you know, myself find my family, so why not continue? So I said, I got to find this guy. What do you mean you haven't seen him since he was a baby, right? So I should have been what do you call it? PI?
Yeah,
so,
investigate,
I know
private
how to dig
investigator.
up folks, y'all. I know, and I can't stop. It's like an addiction. Like when I start, it's like a real addiction where I just have to find this person. And I always tell people when I find the person for them, they tell me thank you. I said, no, thank you for allowing me to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand. Like, this is like amazing for me. So when he told me that, I was like, oh yeah. Next, you know, the next project, right? So I found him and he didn't believe it because he had been looking for his dad as well. And then I connected them. But being on the phone, because of course I'm not going to tell it, but he didn't want to be on the phone alone with his dad. So me and my other sister, my youngest sister, my biological sister, he said, let y'all be on the phone with me because he didn't know how I was going to go, right? So we on the other end, and these are the words that stood out that really got us emotional. And we was on mute because we were going to be crying. So they said, hey, this is your son. And he said, hey, this is your dad. And he said, oh, he was like, I've been looking for you. And then, you know, they go back and forth. And my uncle says, every day on your birthday, I write in my book on your birthday, happy birthday, Kevin. wherever you are. And when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And I had to hold my composure. And to this day, Uncle Christopher, you don't know, we was on the phone. It's out. He don't know about it, but he know now.
It's out now.
But yes, it was just so emotional, and it felt so good that it was connected, because when I tell you, my uncle didn't think he didn't want anything to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
And my uncle's stubborn, so it only took God, I'm telling y'all, for him to be like, okay, let me talk to him, because his mind was made up. No, he don't want to have nothing to do with me, but God said something different.
Absolutely.
And when I tell you, I prayed about it, because I couldn't do it alone. And it worked out, and they've been inseparables ever since.
Absolutely. That's one of the best stories out of her journey that I love, when she brought a son and a father together that were looking for each other, but couldn't find. Wasn't it the spelling of his last name was spelled incorrectly?
He was given the wrong last name for his dad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was the reason why he couldn't find his dad. So for my sister to find him and make that connection, I wasn't there, but it was just amazing. And I just love hearing that story. That's why I wanted her to tell y'all about it. But that was one of the amazing stories. But during your journey, did you encounter any unexpected obstacles or surprises along the way that
Woo. Obstacles? Yes. There was always something in the way. Mm-hmm. But it didn't stop me. I just kept going. It wasn't easy. I don't want anyone to think it was easy. It was not easy. When I started searching, I started searching. Searching. When I met my family, like every family got things going on, things that took place. But there was obstacles, I would say, would be, for me, just getting everybody on the same page. Mm-hmm. Because people have to realize there's always more to the story.
Right.
And a lot of times, like with Kevin and his dad, it was just a misunderstanding.
Right.
So it was more like helping them understand and talk about it, mm-hmm. to get them closer together. But like I said, the good Lord, mm-hmm. the good Lord came through.
But it was definitely divine connections, because not only did you connect your biological family, I was able to meet your family. Mm-hmm. And you have those. We didn't have that. We praised her and celebrated her with the fact that she was able to find her, biological family. That's not always the case. There's always jealousy. There's always something. But we supported her in her journey. Like I said, I'm trying to get her to write this book. So it's been, amazing to watch her light up and, know that she knows who she is now, with her being able to make the divine connections and meeting her biological family. I have one more question for you before we take a break. Were there any specific records, databases, or organizations that played a part in your journey?
Well, I use Ancestry.com. Mm-hmm. They are the best. I recommend. I used the DNA. Mm-hmm. I did a DNA. That's the only platform I used. Other than that, just researching, mm-hmm. just by names, little information that I get put together, and just look them up on the website, and find them that way. Google is the best as well. Mm-hmm. So those are the websites that I use. I would say the regular website, Google, Yahoo, and Ancestry.com is what I used.
Okay. We are going to take a break, and we're going to come back with more questions for Kenyia Mcleod.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you for all the years that you sacrificed for your children. Thank you for loving us. I'm sure we were unlovable at times. Thank you for just being there, supporting us through each and every journey of our life. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for loving us and helping us grow into the adults that we are now. Thank you for showing us what true sacrifice looks like. Thank you for pushing us to our destiny and our purpose, even when you didn't know that's what you were doing. Thank you for the hard talks, and they were hard. But thank you for the hard talks. Thank you for wiping my tears when I couldn't wipe them myself. Thank you for showing me what a woman of faith looks like that doesn't give up at the first sign of trouble. Thank you for showing me what a servant looks like, because you will give someone the shirt off your back as long as they're smiling. So thank you again, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. Although I did give you your flowers while you was here, I still want to give you a shout out for this Mother's Day. You are very missed and you are very loved. May you continue to rest in the arms of the Lord. I love you, Mommy.
Hi, Lanita Mitchell Blackwell here, doing a shout out video for my favorite girl, Miss Patience. Say hey, mama. Hello, everybody. Celebrating her 78th birthday. Isn't she beautiful? Love you, mama. Thank you. Love you all too.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, I am talking to Kenyia Mcleod. This is my sissy, and she came on to share her journey with us. So we left off with her talking about, excuse me, y'all, the resources and databases that she used. She used DNA, Ancestry. She makes it sound easy, but the work and the time that she put in to locate these family members, we missed our phone time. Every time she got on the phone with me, she was like, let me call you back. Yeah, so she took away from me, but I'm I'm glad that she did it. And being able to find, like I said, find her identity, find who she is, find those missing pieces to the puzzle that have been missing. So I am, like I said, we're here to celebrate. This is what this is all about. Do you think that there could be more done to help children in the foster care system that want to search for their biological family?
Do I think there could be or it should be?
Both.
I think it should be. It's kind of it's a situation thing. A situation. I mean, because honestly, like she said, it's not easy. So I'm gonna say don't give up on finding your family, but sometimes the family don't want to find you.
That makes sense.
So that's why they have all these systems and they have all these things in place, because it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of sad, you just don't know the situation, but that's why I say, like, they got to put like different things in place, because it might become dangerous. It could become dangerous.
Yeah.
So definitely want to take that in consideration.
That is true. I have my younger brother. He's also adopted, and we was trying to figure out, who his mom was. We was told that his mom was one race, but she turned out to be another race. Then his dad was one race, turned out to be a different race. But how long? What has been a year?
Yeah,
it's been a year, and Kenyia actually helped our younger brother find his mom. She wanted to. She talked. Did she talk to Mommy on the phone? Did she get a chance?
She didn't get a chance.
Okay. His biological mom, wanted to talk to my mother and thank her for taking him in and looking after him and raising him. But my mom passed away before she got a chance to talk to her. But like I said, she helped him find his biological mom. He's has siblings as well. that he has connected with. And we have talked about Kenya's cousin Kevin. We've talked about Uncle Christopher, but we didn't talk about Deanna, her, her biological sister, that I embraced. You know, when we first met her, and it was a good connection. You know, with every family, you're always going to have the ups and the downs, but I do want you to tell a story about how you met her.
Oh, so I met my younger sister at my mom's house the first day I met my mom. And she actually, it was so funny because I always said I wanted a little sister, by the way. But she wanted to be in y'all a little big sister, okay? So I met her at the house for the first time. She's so very quiet, very quiet. I guess, you don't know the people, you're going to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But when I met her, I was like, wow, we look alike. Okay.
All of them got the nose.
Mm-mm. Don't do that. But yeah, we look alike. And, it felt good. It felt good because, like I said, I always wanted a younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt good that when I met her. So, and we became very close, and I actually was able to help her as well because she was in the foster system. When I connected with her, she was in the foster system, foster care, and I was able to help her because she was aging out.
Mm-hmm. So
I was able to help her when she aged out. So it's like everything just came on time when it was supposed to be. That's what I felt. I was glad that I was able to help her.
So although, both of you were in the foster care system, both of you have way two different stories.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our story to tell,
Mm-hmm.
but they have, it's not always going to be the glam.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always find a loving family. It's a lot of families out there that take in foster kids and just don't do right by them. And it's sad. I actually wanted to be a foster parent. After being a single mom for so long, I wanted to be a foster parent, but the foster system has changed so much since mommy and daddy did foster care, and it's not the same. I actually started training to be in foster care, but the children were totally different. They were, I can't think of the name of the program, but they had us go through training, and in that training, we actually had to learn how to protect ourselves from these kids. And one of the parents that was foster care, she was saying that she did, I forgot what they called it, but when they have a child that doesn't have placement, she's always the one that they call first to see if the child can come stay with her overnight. And she said she was driving down the road. That child and her child was in the back seat, and the foster child tried to push her child out of their moving car while they was going down the road. It's a lot of different stories that I heard. Pretty much one of the parents was saying that one of the children, she literally had to fight. I'm not fighting no child. So at that point, I knew that it wasn't for me. So I backed out because that's not something I want to be able to help another child, but because of the scars, because of all that they went through, going from foster care, going from house to house, being abused, not being taken care of, whether it's verbally or physically, it leaves in a lot of emotional scars. And even though you may have their best interests, they just can't receive that because it's been so many times that they've been abused. So I took myself out of that. I also tried to do Big Sister, Little Sister. Going through that kind of hurt my feelings. They deny you, but they don't even tell you why they deny you. But me being the smart person that I am, I knew why they denied me, because I was going through depression at the time. But I wanted to help. but I probably would not have been a help.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, even though I was mad about it, I'm kind of glad that they didn't say yes, because that way I was able to go through the healing process of what I needed to go through. Would I do it now? I don't know. I've been through so much on my journey. Right now, it's my peace time to take care of me. So I don't know if I do decide to, I will, but right now, probably not. Are there any from your journey that you've been on, are there any misconceptions of adoption or searching for your family? I know one that you mentioned about not having expectations when you're looking for your family.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of that really stands out is the expectations. But I just, I feel like regardless, people should know where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
They should know their background and history. This is just my opinion.
Right.
They should know their background. They should know where they come from. It's very important because I had, when I want to say 2011, well, I'm going to say before that, I was having some thyroid issues. And, I really didn't take thyroid seriously. If you have a thyroid issue and you're listening, please take it seriously. I had to learn the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hadn't connected with my dad's side of the family, I would have never known it was something that runs in the family.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I was very afraid to do certain things in order to fix the problem. But able to talk to my aunt and her tell me everything's going to be okay. I've been through this. I went through this. It helped me make a quicker decision on what I needed to do.
Right.
So that's why I believe that everybody should know their background, where they come from. And just like, some people say, okay, high blood pressure in your family, diabetes, but that doesn't mean that I always tell people this. When they say something's hereditary, certain things like diabetes and blood pressure.
Right.
An example. Diabetes and blood pressure is hereditary because why? Because everybody's repeating the same thing.
Right.
Everybody's eating the same foods. Everybody's doing the same thing. But that doesn't mean that you have to.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important for people to know that as well. If you follow the same pattern, you're getting the same results, right?
Absolutely.
So, and we could always break that. But like for the thyroid, that's something that we can't control that because it's a hormone. But for her being able to, for me, reaching out to her, and it took me a long time to reach out to my dad's part of the family. Because I was like, they probably don't know me, what they going to say. I was thinking all sorts of stuff. And I just got the guts one day and said, come on, let's do it. So, and it was the best decision. Like, I'm like, why didn't I do this a long time ago? But when she had told me, oh, I have it. My daughter got it. My grandchildren. And then she explained to me what happened to her and what did she do and how it helped her. And I was like, okay. So that's another reason why I say it's important for you to know certain things about your health, with your ancestors and your family. You have to know. You got to know something,
But you made a point in saying, like, with diabetes and high blood pressure, both mommy and daddy have high blood pressure. Daddy has diabetes.
You have nothing.
And I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. I'm not on any medications. Yes, thank you, Lord. And, they talk about because you're overweight and you're this and you're that, you got high blood pressure, you got diabetes. Listen, I have nothing. I have nothing. Zero, zilch. When I go to the doctor, my blood pressure has always been normal. I was on the border of being a diabetic, but I changed that. I started eating right. clean eating and doing different things. But even before then, I may have been eating unhealthy. I wasn't gouging out on food, but there's different ways that you can gain weight. Not eating enough food can make you gain weight. Eating too much food can make you gain weight. Different things can make you gain weight. But for me, it was not eating enough and eating the wrong things. But even still, I say, I don't have high blood pressure.
Lord, I'm telling
and
you.
I am not a diabetic. Thank
go.
you, Jesus. Knock on wood, as Mama used to say. But yeah, I feel like that is, important. People claim stuff.
Oh, yeah.
People claim stuff because it runs in the family. You ain't got to claim it. It ain't got to be part of your journey. You can deter from that.
It should actually help you say to yourself, let me do this so I don't get this.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you want to prevent yourself. That's why it's important for people to know their family health history. Because then you could say, well, I know this runs in the family, so let me do something to avoid that.
Right.
So that's why it's important to know the health issues and stuff like that. Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah. That's that was. I know you said that you were fearful about reaching out to your dad's side of the family, and I'll let you tell that. Like I said, I know the story, but I'm gonna let you tell the story of what the outcome was about your dad.
Well, the reason for that was because I didn't know much about my dad. I didn't know. Well, I'm gonna say this. I didn't know if he really knew who I was. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna call this person. This is my mom gave me his sister's number, and what am I gonna say? Hey, auntie, like it's me. No,
Like,
so
who are you?
I was just in my head, overthinking stuff, and was like, what if they don't know me? What am I gonna say? What I'm gonna sound crazy, like. And then just one day, I just got the guts. I came across the number in my drawer, and I said, well, at this point, let me just call. And when I tell you, when I made that phone call, it wasn't what I expected. When I tell you, you don't know what to expect. So my aunt, her granddaughter is the same name as mine.
Really?
So, yes. So when I called, she thinking it's her grandchild. So she's like, wait a minute, ain't you supposed to be such and such? And I said, no, this is Kenyia, your brother's daughter, your brother Nathaniel's daughter. And she was like, oh my God. She's screaming. So I'm like, okay, confirmation. She know who I am. Right? So she screamed. She's like, oh my God, I don't know. She's talking so fast. I don't know. I didn't know what happened to you. I didn't know. And it just went from there. And we just connected, and we was talking, and she was telling me about everybody. And I mean, that weekend we met up. I met her at the house, and that's when she invited the whole world. She said, let me tell you, you got a whole lot of family. She was not lying.
Listen, that takes me back to the Antoine Fisher story. When he called his mother's, his mother's sister?
I can't even remember that.
I could picture it in my head that he made that phone call, and the aunt on the other end acted the same way. Oh my! And she was the one that got all the family together, down to the great grandmothers, and they all came up in that room. And it was standing room only. But it feels good to know that, again, like you said, you have somebody that you look like. Crossing that off your list. That I have somebody that I look like. The puzzle is now full. That's the celebration. That's the celebration right there. The win that your story. Yes, you do have backstories that that I know about, but all in all, you found what you was looking for.
Yes. I did, and much more. Yeah, I found what I was looking for and so much more.
Oh, sometimes it's a blessing to find more.
Oh yeah. Ooh, yes, Lord.
You told two different events on your journey. What is the most memorable? Sorry, y'all, if y'all can hear my stomach. What is the most memorable on this journey for you?
Memorable. Memorable or
Unforgettable.
the
I'm gonna say
moment?
memorable.
My memorable moment would be honestly when I connected Kevin with his dad.
I knew you were gonna say that. Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I'm still like, is this real?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I didn't, you know how you look back and you like, did I do this?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at now. I'm like, okay, I started here. And it's like, I told you, it's like an addiction.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, you're missing somebody? Okay, call me. You know? So, because like I said, I just feel like people should be connected. They should be connected now. If they connect and it don't work out,
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing, but why not try, right? So it's like that moment when they was on the phone and those words, I remember saying, Kevin. And it was like, I've been saying happy birthday to you every year of your birthday. I write it down. I have a book. And he was like, oh, it was just, oof. When I tell you, that was a moment because, for one, it was just the way they interacted with each other, not seeing each other. And
Right.
the other one was, I did this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like, I put them together.
Absolutely.
And he always tell me, I can never repay you for this. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, it's nothing I can do. Like, do you understand? You know, and it happened like right before Father's Day. So, of course,
Of course.
oh, when he found out about his dad, he was already on the first thing smoking. Like, what? I waited all these years, 40-something years.
Yeah.
40-something
I think
years.
out of all the stories that you've told, that's one of my best ones too, because it was just like, you did this. You connected the son and the father after all of these years, you know, when they couldn't find each other. And it was only because his dad's name was misspelled. Otherwise, and that when you can't say that wasn't God. You cannot say that wasn't God.
And people have to realize it's really about timing as well. It might not been the right time.
God's timing.
Right? So
God's
it might have not been the right time. Like when I was looking for my mom years ago, it probably wasn't the right time. Even though I was so eager. You know, so we just got to trust the process.
Absolutely.
And, you know, just take it slow. And, you know, just do what you got to do to get the information.
Well, I hope y'all have been listening. This has been a great show. But we are going to come back. We're going to take a break and come back with Kenyia Mcleod.
Salutations. I just had to pull over because it's about that time. Well, Gio, what time is it? It's time to talk thick with Chrissy. Chrissy, listen, man, if you ain't keeping it Chrissy, you ain't slicky. You got to be slick as a tire so you won't be tired. And Chrissy got that thicky for your snicky. You already know. But anyway, Chrissy, always been love. You already know what it is. Definitely since day one, you always been somebody that cared, always somebody that made sure that you was there for every people. So right now, we here for you. It's all about you. Don't miss it at Chrissy, y'all. Don't miss it at Chrissy. Talking Thick with Chrissy, Regina Global Sunshine Network, and Status Network. Let's talk that talk, y'all.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I want to give a very, very special shout out to my mom, Christine Adams, on her new podcast. Congratulations, Mom, on your new podcast. I know that everything is going to be great. The people are going to love you just as much as I love you, but they could never love you as much as I love you because I'm going to always love you the most. I'm so very proud of you. I'm excited for the big things that's going to be coming your way, and I cannot hear I cannot wait to hear for the topic that you'll be discussing. Love you.
If you're just tuning in, welcome back to Talking Thick with Chrissy with my guest, Kenyia Mcleod. We've just been chopping it up here, talking about her journey, and her inspiring journey in finding her divine connections and the people that she has connected during her journey, her biological family. So we got one more question before we end our show tonight. I've enjoyed you.
I enjoyed being here.
You didn't talk as much as I know.
Listen.
You did good. You did good.
See, I promise I would do good.
You
'Cause
did, because she can be
Jesus.
long-winded ain't the
It's a
word.
lot to tell.
What are some future goals you have related to the work that you're doing, as far as the ancestry and connecting other people?
Listen, future goals. I'm just gonna continue helping people find their families. I mean, I enjoy it. I didn't realize that was one of my purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was lost at one time when I was asking God. I know there's a purpose to help people. I know it's more than feeding the homeless and doing things, for other people. What else can I do? And I feel like this is one.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I know it's a purpose because I can feel it in my heart and it's real. So I'm going to continue to help others because I know how I felt and I know how, what this has done for me in my journey. So I'm just going to continue to do what I do and help other people, and as much as I can to locate their loved ones.
Well, I definitely have enjoyed hearing the stories. Again, there was some parts that, I hadn't heard, things that I learned with my audience. But I do want you to tell my audience how they can connect with you.
Connect with moi?
Yes, your Facebook, your IG.
Yes, my Facebook is Kenyia Lovely Mcleod. And my Instagram, I can't remember, guys.
A hot mess.
But if you find me on Facebook, you can definitely find me on Instagram because it's all
wrong
connected.
for that.
Thank God for the connections.
You wrong for that.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, because I changed it. But
she's so
my Facebook
bootleg,
connected
y'all.
to my Instagram, guys. My sister always saying I'm bootleg, but
She is definitely
follow what you want
bootleg.
to. But yes, you can definitely find me, Kenyia Lovely Mcleod.
Well, I hope that y'all have enjoyed Talking Thick with Chrissy tonight. This is one of the best shows. All of my shows have been really, really good. I've enjoyed all of my amazing guests. But tonight, I want to thank my sister for coming on, sharing her inspiring story of adoption, her inspiring story of making divine connections, not only within her circle, but helping others as well. I would like to thank my sponsors, Lanita Blackwell Mitchell. Probably messed her name up. I'm sorry, Lanita. Lanita, I'm sorry. And also David, Lord knows my mind just went a total blank. David Good. I do want to thank y'all for sponsoring my show. Shout out to my grandbaby Harmony. Thank you, Sean and Christopher. Thank you, Regina Sunshine and Status Network. Thank you, my audience, for tuning in to listen to me talk and listen to my guests tell their stories. And I forgot what I was going to say, y'all. I'm sorry. But thick conversations and real connections. I will see y'all in 2 weeks, every second and fourth Saturday of the month. Holla!